Hello, dear viewer, and thank you for joining me on day 40 of reading the Bible together. Today we are reading Exodus chapter 30 and 31 from the Old Testament, as well as Matthew chapter 23, verse 37 to 39, and chapter 24, verse 1 to 14 from the New Testament. Let's start. Exodus chapter 30. The altar for burning incense. Make an altar out of acacia wood for burning incense. It is to be square, 18 inches long and 18 inches wide, and it is to be 36 inches high. Its projections at the four corners are to form one piece with it. Cover its top, all four sides, and its projections with pure gold, and put a gold border around it. Make 2 gold carrying rings for it and attach them below the border on 2 sides to hold the poles with which it is to be carried. Make these poles of acacia wood and cover them with gold. Put this altar outside the curtain which hangs in front of the covenant box. That is the place where I will meet you. Every morning when Aaron comes to take care of the lamps, he is to burn sweet-smelling incense on it. He must do the same when he lights the lamps in the evening. This offering of incense is to continue without interruption for all time to come. Do not offer on this altar any forbidden incense, any animal offering, or any grain offering, and do not pour out any wine offering on it. Once a year, Aaron is to perform the ritual for purifying the altar by putting on its 4 projections the blood of the animal sacrificed for sin. This is to be done every year for all time to come. This altar is to be completely holy, dedicated to me, the Lord. The tax for the tent of the Lord's presence. The Lord said to Moses, "When you take a census of the people of Israel, each man is to pay me a price for his life, so that no disaster will come on him while the census is being taken. Everyone included in the census must pay the required amount of money, weighed according to the official standard. Everyone must pay this as an offering to me. Everyone being counted in the census, that is, every man 20 years old or older, is to pay me this amount. The rich man is not to pay more, nor the poor man less, when they pay this amount for their lives. Collect this money from the people of Israel and spend it for the upkeep of the tent of my presence. This tax will be the payment for their lives, and I will remember to protect them." The bronze basin. The Lord said to Moses, "Make a bronze basin with a bronze base. Place it between the tent and the altar and put water in it. Aaron and his sons are to use the water to wash their hands and feet before they go into the tent or approach the altar to offer the food offering. Then they will not be killed. They must wash their hands and feet so that they will not die. This is a rule which they and their descendants are to observe forever." The anointing oil. The Lord said to Moses, "Take the finest spices, 12 pounds of liquid myrrh, 6 pounds of sweet-smelling cinnamon, 6 pounds of sweet-smelling cane, and 12 pounds of cassia, all weighed according to the official standard. Add 1 gallon of olive oil and make a sacred anointing oil, mixed like perfume. Use it to anoint the tent of my presence, the covenant box, the table and all its equipment, the lampstand and its equipment, the altar for burning incense, the altar for burning offerings, together with all its equipment, and the wash basin with its base. Dedicate these things in this way, and they will be completely holy, and anyone or anything that touches them will be harmed by the power of its holiness. Then anoint Aaron and his sons, and ordain them as priests in my service. Say to the people of Israel, this holy anointing oil is to be used in my service for all time to come. It must not be poured on ordinary men, and you must not use the same formula to make any mixture like it. It is holy, and you must treat it as holy. Whoever makes any like it or uses any of it on anyone who is not a priest will no longer be considered one of my people. The incense. The Lord said to Moses, "Take an equal part of each of the following sweet spices: stacked, onycha, galbanum, and pure frankincense. Use them to make incense, mix like perfume. Add salt to keep it pure and holy. Beat part of it into a fine powder. Take it into the tent of my presence and sprinkle it in front of the covenant box. Treat this incense as completely holy. Do not use the same formula to make any incense like it for yourselves. Treat it as a holy thing dedicated to me. If anyone makes any like it for use as perfume, he will no longer be considered one of my people." Exodus chapter 31. Craftsmen for the tent of the Lord's presence. The Lord said to Moses, "I have chosen Bezalel, the son of Uri, the grandson of Hur, from the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with my power. I have given him understanding, skill, and ability for every kind of artistic work, for planning skillful designs and working them in gold, silver, and bronze, for cutting jewels to be set, for carving wood, and for every other kind of artistic work. I have also selected Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, from the tribe of Dan, to work with him. I have also given great ability to all the other skilled workers, so that they can make everything I have commanded to be made: the tent of my presence, the covenant box and its lid, all the furnishings of the tent, the table and its equipment, the lampstand of pure gold and all its equipment, the altar for burning incense, the altar for burnt offerings and all its equipment, the wash basin and its base, the magnificent priestly garments for Aaron and his sons to use when they serve as priests, the anointing oil, and the sweet-smelling incense for the holy place. In making all these things, they are to do exactly as I have commanded you." Sabbath, the day of rest. The Lord commanded Moses to tell the people of Israel, "Keep the Sabbath, my day of rest, because it is a sign between you and me for all time to come, to show that I, the Lord, have made you my own people. You must keep the day of rest, because it is sacred. Whoever does not keep it, but works on that day, is to be put to death. You have 6 days in which to do your work, but the 7th day is a solemn day of rest, dedicated to me. Whoever does any work on that day is to be put to death. The people of Israel are to keep this day as a sign of the covenant. It is a permanent sign between the people of Israel and me, because I, the Lord, made heaven and earth in 6 days, and on the 7th day I stopped working and rested." When God had finished speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 stone tablets on which God himself had written the commandments. Please feel free to pause the video here for time to reflect on what we have read. Let's continue. Matthew chapter 23, verse 37 to 39. Jesus' love for Jerusalem. "Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you kill the prophets and stone the messengers God has sent you. How many times I wanted to put my arms around all your people, just as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you would not let me. And so your temple will be abandoned and empty. From now on, I tell you, you will never see me again until you say, 'God bless him who comes in the name of the Lord.'" Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 to 14. Jesus speaks of the destruction of the temple. Jesus left and was going away from the temple when his disciples came to him to call his attention to its buildings. "Yes," he said, "you may well look at all these. I tell you this, not a single stone here will be left in its place. Every one of them will be thrown down." Troubles and persecutions. As Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him in private. "Tell us when all this will be," they asked, "and what will happen to show that it is the time for your coming and the end of the age." Jesus answered, "Watch out, and do not let anyone fool you. Many men claiming to speak for me will come and say, 'I am the Messiah,' and they will fool many people. You are going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news of battles far away, but do not be troubled. Such things must happen, but they do not mean that the end has come. Countries will fight each other, kingdoms will attack one another. There will be famines and earthquakes everywhere. All these things are like the first pains of childbirth. Then you will be arrested and handed over to be punished and be put to death. Everyone will hate you because of me. Many will give up their faith at that time. They will betray one another and hate one another. Then many false prophets will appear and fool many people. Such will be the spread of evil that many people's love will grow cold. But whoever holds out to the end will be saved. And this good news about the kingdom will be preached through all the world for a witness to all people, and then the end will come." Please feel free to pause the video here for time to reflect on what we have read. That's it for today, and I hope that you'll join me in the next video. Wishing you a graceful morning, day, or evening.